In this video, I'm going to rank every single item in Fortnite history that begins with the letter A. This is going to be a new series on the channel where I'm going to rank weapons alphabetically, right? So part 2 will be letter B, part 3 will be letter C, and so on until the end, where the last episode will be ranking all the weapons and items that place number 1 for each letter. Some of you may know that I started this series originally as, YouTube Shorts, but I felt it would better translate into my longer form YouTube videos, so here we are. And just so that I don't spoil anything, I've privated the few shorts that I made to begin this series. Nothing is off the table for this list. Battle Royale, Reload, Blitz, LTM exclusives, vehicles, Augments, they'll all be considered for these lists. If you do go on to enjoy this video, consider using TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop. With that long intro out of the way, let's get into part A. At number 31, the worst A item in Fortnite history, it is animal bones. Yeah, these items towards the bottom of the list we're going to blow by. There's really nothing good to say about them. Animal bones, chapter 2, season 6, that's all you gotta know. At number 30 are alien nanites. All they did was create this sort of like zero gravity area. They were also able to be used in crafting mechanics in chapter 2, season 7, but nothing past that. At number 29 are arrows. Yes, the arrows ammo is going to be on this list, and unfortunately, there's not that many good weapons that actually use this ammo type besides, I would say, like the mechanical shockwave bow. You think about the best bows in Fortnite history, right? You think the boom bow uses shotgun shells, maybe the boom bolt that uses rockets, right? So arrow ammo is not great because the weapons that use this ammo are not great. At number 28 are apples. 5 HP, that's cool. I'm not going to complain about it, but you're never going to find me carrying apples in my inventory. At number 27 is the ammo drop augment. It basically just dropped more ammo on people's bodies when you kill them. Just not a great augment. You really never find yourself ever needing more ammo in Fortnite. It's that simple. And number 26 is the adrenaline rush boon, which honestly isn't that bad of a boon. And I will say all boons essentially do have some inherent value because you can carry all of them at one time. It's not like augments where you can only carry 4 of them and you're limited to the ones that you choose. And this boon isn't too shabby. Number 25 is the aquatic warrior augment, which all it does is it will heal you partially shields when you're in the water. I mean, that's okay. It's very situational. You've got to be near water. But there's some times when I could actually see this being pretty useful. And number 24 is the airstrike. And you know what? There's not much to say about the airstrike, considering the precision airstrike is just everything this weapon wanted to be, but so much better. And both those items are the same rarity. So yeah, it's not like the airstrike is necessarily that bad. The precision airstrike is just so much better. And number 23 is the agile aiming boon. This boon makes it so that aiming down sights has reduced recoil and spread and increased movement speed, right? You're not going to complain about that whatsoever. At number 22 is the aerialist augment. All this augment lets you do is redeploy your glider, but of course it doesn't take up an inventory slot, right? It's an augment. As you guys remember, glider redeploy used to be an item, so it's a huge buff to it that you no longer have to take it in the inventory slot and you can use it as an augment. And it's good. If you find yourself dying fall damage a bunch, yeah, you're going to take this augment every time. At number 21 is the armored wall. I think the armored wall is pretty underrated, I would say. It just gives your wall like an absolute metric ton of HP. The problem is, I feel like the armored wall, all it does is just delay the inevitable. Like, okay, you're one shot and you box yourself up with an armored wall, which by the way would require you to have 6 armored walls. Well, they're just going to stay on your wall and pickaxe the wall until it breaks, and then the cycle just repeats. If you're getting shot from one angle and you place an armored wall, they'll just continue to shoot it until the armored wall breaks, right? It just gives you a little bit more time. I'm not crazy on the armored wall. I do think it has its uses, but we have better traps in the game. At number 20 is the air sprite. It's okay. It's whatever. Like, it's basically just like a portable mini launch pad if you want to think about it that way. The only problem is it takes up an inventory slot, right? Like, I hate the fact that this item takes up an inventory slot. It's fine, but we're still not into the top tier items on this list today. At number 19 is the anvil launcher, and this might be the highest the anvil launcher has ever ranked on any of my lists, really. And the anvil launcher does one thing really well, and that is taking out vehicles, and does everything else horribly. And that's basically the story of the anvil launcher. At number 18 is the aspect of speed. This is Zeus's medallion from chapter 5 season 2, and you get that increased sprint and jump height and no fall damage from that jump. It's okay. It's still in the bottom 50% of this list. It's not a super desirable medallion, and I don't think anyone is going to go crazy when I say that I think this is the worst medallion from chapter 5 season 2. Right ahead of it though, at number 17 is the aspect of combat. So this was Ares' medallion from Brawler's Battleground, and this would make it so that ranged weapons would do slightly more damage. It was barely more damage at that 1 or 2 more damage points. It would fluctuate depending on the weapon. Like for snipers, obviously you'd have a bigger buff than you would to like, you know, SMGs. It's not a medallion that you're going to complain about having. Like you'll always take more damage, but there were just better options in Chapter 5 Season 2. And number 16 is Ascended Mist. You've got an item here that combines two, right? You get the Mist Gauntlets and the Mist Form, put it together, and it's actually a pretty good item. My only problem is 2 inventory slots is just not going to cut it. The only reason why this item is pretty high up on this list is because of that invincibility when you enter that flying mode. Yeah, the gauntlets are fine or whatever. You know, it takes up 2 inventory slots, and I don't think it should. Even though, of course, I understand why they did it. And number 15 is the automatic sniper rifle. So yeah, auto sniper is okay. It's not great. It's basically at the 50% mark on this list, which again might be the highest it's ever going to rank. Really, it's not a sniper rifle. It's a DMR, let's be honest. And if you play it that way, I think you can have some success here. And number 14 is the Authority key card. Yeah, I told you guys I'm ranking literally everything. We've got key cards on this list today. And how the heck do you rank a key card? I mean, I guess you can rank it by the vault. And yeah, getting a vault is good. You get a ton of good loot, but I'm not necessarily going to the Authority to, you know, gun for the key card in particular. The key card for me is just kind of like an added bonus. I'm really going for the mythic items. And there's also no guarantee that you're actually going to get that vault either, right? Like people could be camping it, people could be watching it. The amount of times that I've gone inside of a vault and gotten stuck inside of it, just too many times for my liking. And number 13 is the Aspect of Siphon from Chapter 5 Season 2. This is Hades' medallion, and it's a very good medallion, right? Siphon is always going to help you. You're not going to, you know, not take it, but my only problem is it doesn't help you win a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe if you're in duos, right, and you're in a 1v2, you knock somebody, you thirst them, get the Siphon. But for the most part, it's not going to give you the leg up in a fight. It's going to, you know, help you after a fight. So I would just prefer a medallion that's going to help me win a fight. And number 12 is the Amban Sniper Rifle. You know, this is a weapon that I used to respect so much back in the day when it was Mythic only. Then they did the devil's work and they brought it back for Galactic Battle and it just wasn't the same. Low body shot damage. It was just, this thing was not it when they brought it back. It should have just stayed Mythic. If it just stayed Mythic, it's a top tier sniper rifle. But now that it's got those lower rarities, of course, I've got to consider that as well. Number 11 is the Auto Shotgun. Wow, I have not ranked the Auto Shotgun in a long time. Like, honestly, besides the 100k special, obviously, where I ranked every single weapon, and be sure to go check that video out if you haven't. It's a great video. It's like a perfectly suitable shotgun, right? You know what you're getting from an auto shotgun. It's not going to give you a crazy blazing fast fire like the drum shotgun, but you're going to be doing a lot of damage here. And in those higher rarities, you can actually 2-tap somebody with an auto shotgun, which is kind of ridiculous. In those lower rarities, though, for the most part, I think you're probably going to prefer a striker pump. And even in those higher rarities, you might still prefer the striker pump, and I would totally get that. At number 10 is the ATK. That's the all-terrain cart. And you know what? It's a below average vehicle now, let's be real. In OG, it's good because there's not a ton of mobility in the game, at least when the ATKs were really prominent when they were added in Season 5. But, you know, it leaves you pretty exposed. It doesn't travel that fast, but you can carry all 4 players at one time. That is pretty valuable. And, like, am I going to take the ATK over something like the Auto Sniper or the Anvil Launcher? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, of course, it's a vehicle. It's hard to rank on the list with weapons. And we're not done with vehicles because at number 9, we've got the Armored Transport. That is that, you know, big truck that would drive around with all the AIs in Chapter 6, Season 2. If you forgot about it, I wouldn't blame you. It's kind of forgettable. I mean, it's fine as a vehicle, right? Like, it's got a ton of HP. It doesn't travel that fast, but it does have that cool, like, kind of back area where you don't have to sit down. You can just kind of, like, hang out in the back. Again, it's an armored vehicle. I think top 10 is probably pretty fair. And number 8 is another armored vehicle. It's the Armored Battle Bus. Yeah, this thing was an absolute tank in Chapter 3. You've got the 2 gunners on top. You've got the giant battle bus itself, a ton of HP. I mean, yeah, this thing's an absolute bully. And now that I think about it, I don't actually know if this place counts the Armored Battle Bus that came back in Chapter 5, Season 3. That one had an EMP grenade on it. I don't know if it had a different name. Honestly, should have done that research before this, but I'm doing this all in one take here. Still, it's a pretty good vehicle, and hint, hint, it's the best one on this list. At number 7 is Ares Warforged Assault Rifle from Brawler's Battlegrounds from Chapter 5 Season 2. A good assault rifle. It's not a great one, and it's also not terrible. It pairs really well with that medallion that's going to give you extra damage at those ranges. I think the red dot sight and the extended mag here are really good additions to a weapon that otherwise is pretty lacking without those attachments. I personally was somebody who was never crazy high on the Warforged AR, but I would understand if you like it, and I think this is a fair spot for it. At number 6 is the A280 CFE Blast blaster rifle. And notably, this won't include its mythic version, right? Because that's the enhanced A280 CFE blaster rifle. You'll see that at the letter E video. I definitely think it's better than Ares Warforged AR, and I think it's a worse version of a hollow twister. That's how I always looked at this weapon, right? When you're comparing ARs in Chapter 6, the gold standard is the hollow twister, and I think the A280 falls just a little bit below it. It's just that fire rate is too slow, and you're not doing enough damage per shot. But with that being said, most people are probably going to prefer a scoped AR anyways over those, you know, bloom-based ones. At number 5 is airbending. Airbending is an incredible mobility item. It is infinite. I'm telling you guys, I actually made a tweet about this the other day, funny enough. But if airbending were to come back in Chapter 6, I guarantee you they would add durability to it, because the fact that you have a true infinite mobility item here, right? Like, you could literally stand on this for the entire game as long as you didn't get shot. What a crazy good mobility item. We really just don't get ones like this anymore. At number 4 is the aspect of agility. This is Cerberus's medallion, and it's a great one. It's a top 5 medallion of all time. And when I say I want a medallion that's going to help me win a fight, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like 10 out of 10 times, I'm taking the aspect of agility over a siphon medallion. Of course, in a perfect world, I just take both, because you can have as many medallions as you want. But those dashes are so valuable, and in the right hands, it's so difficult to hit somebody who's dashing around all over the place. And again, another infinite mobility item, but this time it doesn't even take up an inventory slot. Moving inside our top 3 here, that's going to be the assault rifle, the basic assault rifle, and the SCAR, right? As much as you guys think it's the SCAR, technically it is just called the assault rifle in game. And there was a time when this was the go-to assault rifle in Fortnite. Now, that's not the case anymore, and especially with the SCAR is not the best assault rifle anymore. Not even close, really. But it does everything it needs to do right. You've got a great fire rate, you've got very good damage, and you've got very good accuracy. It's just now that you have scoped assault rifles, most people just don't prefer the old ones, but it's an assault rifle that you really just can't go wrong with, right? Like, I can't say anything bad about it, really. At number 2 is going to be the ACP Scatter Blaster from Galactic Battle. Now, of course, I hate on Galactic Battle a lot of times. I don't think it did much right, but this weapon was one of the things it did do right. This is a pump shotgun that absolutely contends with the best of all time. I think it's better than the regular pump shotgun. The numbers will back me up on this, and you gotta remember, you also don't have to reload this item at all. It has infinite ammo, and it does not need to be reloaded. That's a bigger advantage than you would think for pump shotguns, especially. This is a shotgun that I think absolutely is a top tier one, absolutely better than the BRMST-12, and only contended by the Jawa in that season. But all right, now we've got to go to our number 1 spot today. At number 1, guys, unsurprisingly, it's going to be the Armor of Doom. Now, the Armor of Doom is so unfair to compare it to anything other than this list. It's one of the best transformation items of all time. And like I said, guys, I am counting everything on this list. By the time this series is over, I will literally have ranked every single thing that's ever been in Fortnite, which is crazy. And so the Armor of Doom deserves to be on this list. Shouldn't be a surprise. Just absolutely dominates everything. It's not even fair to compare it to anything besides the other transformation items. It's meant to be overpowered. It absolutely is, and definitely deserves to be at the number 1 spot today, guys. Alrighty, folks, I hope you went on to enjoy that video. If you did, please let me know in the comment sections down below, and by liking this video. Let me know if you think there's anything I missed on this list. I literally went to the Fortnite wiki, every single section of the wiki, press Control F, and just look through every item, and I will be doing that for every single video in this series. This is a series that I've wanted to do for a long time, so I really hope you guys go on to enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace.